Could we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would like to call the meeting to order at 7:02 on November the 15th, 2021. I will call the roll of the Board of Directors. We do have a quorum with all 5 board members present. Pedro Quesels, Dan Rasky, Joe Leahy, Patty Smith, and myself, Tammy Bramwell. The meeting was certified by the posting in the clubhouse bulletin board, and via web e-blast also. Good evening, South Shore Falls residents. We would like to welcome you to our November 15th, 2021 board meeting. We also would like to thank Valerie, Tiffany, and Michelle for assisting the board with preparation of the meeting and for their attendance this evening as well. We understand this makes for a long day for you ladies, and we appreciate you being here with us tonight. Our goal is to move swiftly through business listed on our agenda. As always, we request all comments be held until the end of the meeting. We will follow Florida Statute 720.306, which allows each speaker 3 minutes to speak to any item on the agenda. In order to stay within the 3 minutes allowed, I have asked the board members and management to not speak until the speaker has completed their comment or until their 3-minute time frame is up, and each speaker may speak 1 time. Okay, has everyone had the opportunity to review the meeting minutes from October the 18th, 2021 and November the 3rd?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from October the 19th, 2021 and November the 3rd, 2021?
You have a motion to approve?
Do I have a second? Okay, with no further discussion, I call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? The vote was unanimous. Okay, and I'll turn the next one over to Dan Rasky for the treasurer's report.
Okay, summary of our financials for September, ending in September. We had a beginning balance operating cash of $566,720. And our ending balance was $615,098, which was an increase of $48,378. Receivables, we had $8,327. And budget variances, for the current month, we were $2,078. That would be over budget on revenue. Year to date, we're $21,422 over budget. Budget expenses, variance net income. Our current month expense variance, we were at $1,026 under budget. Year to date expense variance was $265,721. And year to date, surplus we have is $143,000. I would make a motion to have this approved and put onto the website.
Do I have a second? He made the motion.
I'll second Gail's motion.
Any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote to approve the September 2021 financial statement for posting on the website. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We do have.
Let the
Go ahead.
vote stand unanimously.
I do have one other thing I want to talk about that the Finance Committee brought up is I would like to put the financial statements on the website as soon as we receive them. See what the board thinks about that. I can't see any reason not to do that. A financial statement that comes out for last month is not going to be changed, or it hasn't ever been changed that I'm aware of. Any changes to it would be in a subsequent financial statement, with some entries. So what I would suggest is see if we can put those onto our website immediately and really get away from like a 2 to 3 week delay of getting them out there.
And is that removing the board's approval totally, or you're just,
No, I mean, it's not so much approval as, I think, finding maybe errors or discrepancies that would have to be corrected.
and Valerie's shaking her head yes.
So we want to put the financial statements out there prior to a check that they're accurate? Or are you saying they are accurate if we put them out there?
And they're accurate as they're going to be for that month.
Okay,
If there is a mistake on it, it would have to be in the following month where they'd have to
okay,
make an
that's what I
entry.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we need to vote on that? Is that what you're asking for, Dan, is a vote on that?
Can I have a motion to go ahead and put those financial statements out as quick as we get them for the residents to see? Second?
I'll second.
Dan's making all this.
No?
Okay, I call for a vote to post the monthly financial statements upon receipt from Castle Group. My mic just went. Effective on the next financial monthly report, which would be for October 2021.
Yes. I'll second that.
Any other discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Valerie, would you like to give your manager's report, please? And we're not zooming.
Testing.
Need to take it off. Oh, wait, all of a sudden it's working. Never mind.
I think our speakers are going in and out. With that being said, I want to let you all know that management has been working with the Finding and Suspension Committee to confirm the process and procedures for homeowner violations. We got that clarification from legal counsel today, and we will be completing a full property inspection very soon. So I would like to ask that you take a look around your property, ensure that all of your exterior decorations, flags, plantings are all in compliance with your covenants and with ARB guidelines. Beginning today, you can go ahead and put out your Christmas decorations and make sure you schedule to have those pulled back in by January 6th. So your holiday decorations, you can get started anytime now. So the painting project, we are now at 50% completion for this year's homes that are to be painted. We expect to wrap that up by the end of December. The pressure washing is going to begin on the 6th. We've sent notice that the lagoon pool will be closed on the 6th. All of the amenities at the Eagles Nest Recreation Area are going to be closed on Wednesday the 8th to complete that pressure washing. And we will be meeting this week to review the reports from the core and water samples taken in the pond so we can discuss the next steps. We anticipate that to be on the next board workshop to discuss our next steps for pond remediation. And we're working with James Alexander to finalize a date for the town hall meeting. I know we promised you all that he would make himself available for a town hall meeting about landscaping and your issues you're having. And I would look in a day or two for an email confirming that date and time for that meeting. That's all I have.
Thank you, Valerie. I turned my mic off thinking I was doing all the humming. Okay, and Michelle, do you have a lifestyle director's report?
I do. Thank you, Tammy. Good evening, everyone. I would like to mention that we have a ballroom agreement rental that is on the website, the South Shore Fall website, to let you know that the board of directors have agreed and approved on August 17th ballroom rentals There are full days and half days. Full day is 400 and a half day is 200. And all of the procedures and guidelines are listed. If you have any specific questions, you can certainly ask me anytime. I would also like to mention the policy on refunds for lifestyle events. A lot of residents have approached me asking me to clarify, so I'd like to do that tonight for you. And I may be reading some of this, so hopefully if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Lifestyle event tickets, once purchased, becomes the property of the buyer and are non-refundable. These same tickets may be resold to another resident or guest by the ticket purchaser. Lifestyle event tickets, once purchased, and in the event South Shore Falls canceled, you have an option to exchange your vouchers for a term of 1 year for another event within that year for an equal or lesser value, and the buyer is responsible to pay the difference if necessary. Or, since South Shore Falls has canceled the event, we can offer cash refunds. You would have to come to me directly with your request for a cash refund. We would refund it through the PayPal system. However, it is a process. It may take 6 to 8 weeks to receive your refund, but we can do that. But you do need to give me that request directly. I think that covers it. Any questions?
Reservations, did you review reservations?
For making reservations? Yes, there's a form on the website that you would submit a request for a reservation. And then I receive those, and then I will contact you within 24 hours with the information on availability.
And table or seating reservations for specific events, did you review that?
Yes, so there are some events that you'll notice on the flyers that it says that there is reserved seating. So at the time that you register for your event, you can either do that online or you can go to the resident service desk. If you do that online, you would visit the resident service desk to actually select your seating and reserve that table. Or you can do both. You can register and select your seating at the resident desk.
With regard to payment for reservation, when is that due?
It's due at the time that you register. Yes, register and reserve seating is done at the same time. Have I covered everything? I think so.
I just want you to address on the event form for clubs. We spoke of this today, that if their event starts at 10:30, but they need additional time to set up, they really need to use that setup form time slot. That
Yes.
other form, you're going to revise that?
Yes, and that form is on the website, and when I give you the contract, I will outline the time for your setup. So that's the time you can enter the ballroom and start your setup, and there's also an ending time. So if your event ends at 9, I'm allowing an hour to clean up and have all of your guests and exit the ballroom in the building.
But if they come and they want their event to start at 10:30, they can't come at 9:30
Correct.
to set up their event. They
Right,
need to ask for that
Yes,
so that we can make sure that the amenities are available.
right. We have other activities going on, so we want to ensure that the time that you come in for your event, you have the availability to do so, and there's no conflict of another group.
And I just want to add to that, we've spoke on this before, but should an emergency board meeting come up or schedule have to be changed for a board meeting, remember board meetings supersedes any other meetings or events going on. And we do try very hard to not overlap or schedule, as we do know what the schedule is, but at times, sometimes that just cannot be avoided.
Tom, I will send you this refund and exchange procedure. If you would please add it to the website and the rules and guidelines, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Is that everything, Michelle? Okay. So I think we need to, the board needs to vote on this new policy and procedure that you have in place as far as refunds and ticket sales. So do I have a motion to accept the refunds/exchange procedure as just presented by Michelle?
I make a motion to approve the refund exchange procedure for South Shore Falls lifestyle events.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. Okay, on to ratifying the capacity limits, and this is specifically, I think, to just the ballroom. I think all other amenities have been open to full capacity, and we are now ready to open the ballroom back up to 215, which is full capacity limits. This was all approved toward the end of last week, and we are ratifying that today here at the board meeting. So, or do I have a motion to ratify the capacity limits?
We have a motion.
I'll
Yeah.
second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, with no further discussion, I call for a vote to reopen the ballroom capacity limits to 250. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the vote stand unanimously. Okay, on to waste removal company. And Valerie, I'm going to let you explain a little bit why we have new proposals on this. I'm sure some of us will be happy maybe to hear this. With all the
So next year, the county has authorized 3 new waste haulers to perform in Hillsborough County. So you'll have Republic Services, Waste Management, and FCC Environmental Services. Those are going to be the 3 approved haulers in the county. And so we've gone out to bid to get proposals from those 3 haulers. So our current carrier is no longer going to be an approved Hillsborough County hauler. So that's why we've gone out to bid. And so the 3 monthly bids we're looking at, FCC is $183.59, Republic is $173.11, and Waste Management is $267.
What does that mean? Is that a monthly fee? for
That's
resident?
the monthly fee. This is for our dumpster here, our commercial dumpster.
Okay.
So in order for one of the waste companies to have commercial service in the county, they have to also have a piece of that residential contract.
Well, I'm glad we're voting on that.
And so
and the
this
Republic.
is the monthly cost to dump it once per week, which is what we have right now with Waste Connections with our current provider. So 183, 173, or 267.
Which was Republic, I'm sorry.
Republic is 173.
And they do have a one-time 6762. Is that for delivery of the container?
Delivery of the containers.
Yeah.
Yes.
A one-time fee for that. Okay,
I'm thinking Republic.
we're cheap. Just saying. Okay,
Have we brought these to CCOC?
No, ma'am.
Because
I don't think we have much choice because these are the 3 that Hillsborough County is only offering us now. We don't, I mean, we can go with either 3 of them, but like we can't go out and pick anyone else, correct?
Correct.
Am I understanding you correctly? That's what I thought.
But that committee needs to have input on this decision and make the recommendation to the board as they do in all contracts. That's the purpose of the committee.
Okay, so we'll forward these 3 to CCOC and then
Yes.
revisit because the new contract starts February, so
Oh, we have
we've
time.
got time. Yes.
Okay, then we will table the waste removal approval for the 2022, February 2022. Okay, don't turn your mic off, Valerie, because you're still up. The engineering blueprint cost. The board has been looking at remodeling. We're not adding outside or anything. We're just going to remodel this side piece of the storage closet back here so that Michelle actually has an office and doesn't work in a closet contained with all of our other decorations. We've had to go out and had an engineer come in and give us an estimate, or going to give us some drawings, and then we'll have to go get the estimates. So Tiffany or Valerie, I know both of you have been working with them. Would you like to share any more information on that?
Yeah, so this cost is for all the blueprints, the digital drawing, everything that a contractor would need to be able to build in that space. They tell you where all the plugs, the electrical, all of those things. So that's included in this cost.
Okay, and then we'll sub it out from there.
And
Or
then,
find
yeah,
the
I'll get
contractor that's going to
The
be
bids
willing.
for the contractor, yes.
Okay, so do I have a motion to accept the engineering blueprint cost of $4,000?
We have a motion to accept.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yes. I think it's important, and I think it's important that the residents understand that this money is available in the reserves, and we're not using any money currently in the budget to do this. Am I correct?
Correct. Comes out of the reserves.
As a capital expense?
Yes.
Okay. So I call for a vote to accept the engineering blueprint cost of $4,000 for the renovation of the back storage into an office for the lifestyle director.
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. The pool table felt replacement, I believe. Do you have final information, Tiffany, or do we need to table that as, I think, additional information may have been required?
I think it was that it's not necessary to do right this very minute. We don't technically need, and I've spoken to the people that play pool often, that it's not needed at this very minute, but it will be needed within 6 months to maybe a year. I think a year is pushing it because the felt on the table is wearing. So if that's something you guys would like to move forward with, I think absolutely it will need to be done. But if it's something you would like to wait on, I think that would be okay too. It's really just up to you guys on when you think it would be best to get this done. And
Well, unless we're going to do it right away, I don't think we ought to get proposals on it, because 6 months from now, that could all change.
Exactly. So if you're not gonna do it right away, I wouldn't approve either of these. But just for your knowledge too, the Billard Man LLC, he does include the pockets, and the Mike's Billard Service does not include the pockets. And when speaking with one of the members that plays pool, he wasn't saying that the pockets do need to be redone. So if I was going to pick one, I would recommend the Billard Man one that includes the pockets.
Is this a scheduled expense out of reserves again?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's within the timing to do it?
Yes.
So we should be doing it.
Yes, and it will need done 6 months to a year. And it could be, if you look at the pool tables, you could say they need done now, but that's just, it's up to your own discretion.
Yeah, I looked at them today.
Yeah,
And was kind of under the impression
it can't hurt because it's gonna need to be done, so it's up to you.
but if we move forward, this $1,700 from Billiard Man does not include everything, correct? Because does that underneath the felt, something under there needs to be leveled and this side?
From my understanding, it included everything. This was the same bid as the person I talked to that he received.
Level tables. What about the side?
Pockets, yes.
No, the side
Oh, bumper replacement.
bumper
Mhm.
part.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see that on this. Oh,
It's-
bumper, I see it now. I'm sorry. And that's per table? No, that's for two?
Should-
Two.
It should be done.
Yeah, I'm all in favor to go ahead and have it done. Why put it off 6 more months and bring it back? It's $1,700 for both tables.
I have a concern.
Okay,
When we did this before, or when the bocce ball courts were done before, there was no one with any knowledge to determine whether the repair was being made correctly or sufficiently enough. As a result, we lost $35,000, and they'll have to do it all over again. There are 4 or 5 gentlemen in here who know pool better than anyone. Could you get them involved with these 2 estimates, make sure they understand them, and they also agree that they are providing all the things that need to be done to do it right?
I'm just gonna speak loudly. I spoke with Hugh Lynch today, and this was the same bid that he had received when he went out to just look for things that needed to be done on the pool table, and I made sure that the bids aligned in what he was wanting and what looked like it needed to be done, and he said yes.
Okay, great.
He was just saying that it was possible to wait another 6 months if we didn't
Right.
need to do it now.
now,
Where a resident can advise us, where we don't have that specific knowledge, it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I met with him today.
and Tiffany, this has a July 19, 2021 proposal date. They're still good to hold that?
Yes, I went out to bid with them. I think they just sent us the same bid again
Okay,
because we had previously.
just so they don't come back and double it.
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay. So, do I have a motion to accept the billiard man's proposal of $1,700 to repair both billiard tables in the billiard rooms in the amount of $1,700?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second? Any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote to approve the billiard man estimate of $1,700 for the repair of both billiard tables in the billiard room. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. Okay, common area landscaping bids. And this is just out here for the board to look at for review so that you all are knowledgeable. These are common area expenses. Is my mic not on?
Have your attention.
What happened to Bochi? You skipped over it.
That was removed from the agenda tonight. There was a new agenda that was posted on Saturday. We do not have all of the proposals in for that, so at this time, we're not able to have a vote on that. Tiffany is still working on that, I believe. Okay, so back to Alexander's. Again, these are common area expenses that I just want the board to be made aware of for upcoming projects. One of the big ones, if you'll notice, it's the $12,500, and that is going to be to address Canal 7 of the wax myrtles and Brazilian peppers. And Dan and I did meet with the arborist with Alexander's, and he confirmed that it is safe to do this along the banks of the canal, and that what is proposed is what needs to be removed to clean that canal up. So these don't really require a vote. It's more informational, but I did want you all to be informed of that. So does anyone have any questions on that?
No.
Okay, so for those residents who've been waiting for Canal 7 to be cleaned up, it's going to be happening. Next is the pool geothermal repairs. We have 2 estimates here. Are both of those upright to be? Okay, she's shaking her head. One is in the amount of $1,100.09. The other is $1,068.60. So do I have a motion to approve the geothermal repairs as referenced?
You have a motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote to approve the pool geothermal repairs, one in the amount of $1,100.09, the other $1,068.60. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. Unfortunately, we've had another roof leak in the ballroom here, and so we have an estimate here to get that repaired in the amount of $6,000. And this repair is by RBI Roofing. Valerie, would you like to add any input on that?
When John met with the roofing company on site, and there's 2 leaks that both need to be repaired below the 2 and 4 feet off the ridge vent. There's also some solar equipment there that's not in use, and where that was drilled in, there are some leaks there. So it's to repair the leaks that are off the ridge vent and also remove the solar equipment that's not in use and seal up where that was installed. So it's leaking at one point, and it would only be a matter of time before all of those entry points would begin leaking, so.
And I just want to clarify, this is a different area than what was over here earlier that we had to already have
Correct,
repaired.
it's over here on this side.
Okay.
Is this the same roofer we normally use?
Cardinal is who we use.
Last one?
It is not, no.
Okay, did it go to CCOC? Or is it an emergency?
It's an emergency repair. You get it fixed before it rains again.
Is everybody okay? Okay.
Valerie, is it, I'm sorry to interrupt. Is it the procedure of the management office that whenever we bring in a new vendor, that vendor's contract information should be going to CCOC?
My understanding is if we're entering into a long-term contract, a monthly contractual obligation, those would go through. Any
A simple
emergency-
repair would not?
A simple repair would not, especially an emergency repair would not.
Gotcha, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I call for a motion to accept the roof repair from RBI Roofing in the amount of $6,000 to repair the area in the ballroom that roof leak has been discovered.
You have a motion to accept.
Do I have a second? Okay, any further discussion?
I have a further discussion. Did we go out to anybody else for this, like we used Cardinal over here? I know roofers are really hard to get because I just have a leak in my room.
I believe John contacted several that he's worked with, and this is the one who made it to the property to bid the job.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, that's okay. Everyone needs to be clear. Okay, with no further discussion, I call for a vote to accept the RBI Roofing repair estimate in the amount of $6,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. Okay, next on the agenda is the revised Finance Committee mission statement and procedure. Has everyone had the opportunity to review that?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the revised Finance Committee mission statement and procedure dated 10/27/2021?
You have a motion to accept.
Do I have a second? Okay, with no further discussion, I call for a vote to accept the Finance Committee mission statement and procedure dated 10/27/21. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. The next one is our Landscape Committee mission statement. Again, it was revised on 10/27. Has everyone had the opportunity to review that one?
Yes.
Okay, any questions on it? Okay, I call for a motion to accept the Landscape Committee mission statement dated 10/27.
Have a motion to accept?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote to accept the Landscape Committee mission statement dated 10/27/2021. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Let the vote stand unanimous. Next on the agenda is the ARB guidelines and application changes. And when I went to review these over the weekend, it was kind of confusing to me and some things were not clear. So I have sent back a request to the ARB and the DRC to meet again to review their changes and clarify what was changed, and I would like to table this subject until we receive that clarification back so that we all are clear on what we're approving. So that item is being tabled tonight. The next thing on the agenda is for our financial statements. We would like to suggest we're going to stop the accrual accounting, and I'm going to allow Valerie to speak on that.
On our monthly financial statements, there's a section where we account for all of the expenditures and then a profit or loss on a monthly basis and where we stand year to date. Prior management and prior boards have requested that some line items there be accrued while others were using a cash method and have a real snapshot of exactly how much money we have spent and how much we have left. So I would like for the board to make a motion to cease all accrual on the financial statement with the exception of monthly maintenance fees, which are always accrual, and your reserve expenditures, which are an accrual for the line items. So it would really help us for budgeting purposes, for our spending throughout the year, to know if we're going to be over or under in a certain line item and help the board to make some adjustments to spending patterns over the next calendar year if everything is accounted for in cash and not accrued.
Dan?
I agree. Do we have a motion to accept?
Do we have a motion to accept the request to
I'll
stop?
make the motion to accept, stop accrual accounting.
Do I have a second? Okay, any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote to stop the accrual accounting process with the exception of the reserve and the monthly maintenance line items. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. And last on our agenda tonight is in regards to the capital contribution per lot. And we did reach back out to the attorney on this. It was brought to our attention recently that there were exceptions to those who would move from one street or lot to another within South Shore Falls, that they are exempt from this fee. And that is not the case, and that is not how our Amendment 5 reads. And the attorney has clarified that with us. And the only time that would be exempt is if, say, my name is the only name on my deed and I want to put my spouse's name on there. Or if we're going to add an heir to the deed as a joint tenants or with right of survivorship, then you would not have to pay that you would not have to pay the capital contribution. If you move from Shell Falls over to Silver Falls, you're moving properties, and therefore that fee is due when you move to a new property within South Shore Falls. So we just wanted to clarify that part. That's not anything, we're not voting to change that. That's already in our amendments. It just has not been handled correctly in the past. What I would like to get an opinion on from the other board members is to increase the amount of the capital contribution fee from $750 to $1,000. Would anyone like to weigh in on that?
That was suggested by a resident.
I don't think your mic's on.
That was suggested by a resident, and I concur with that recommendation, especially with everything going up these days.
Anyone else?
No, I agree.
Okay, do I call for a motion, or I call for a motion to increase the capital contributions to $1,000 effective 11/15/2021.
You have a motion to increase.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? With no further discussion, I call for a vote to increase the capital contribution fees from $750 to $1,000 effective 11/15/2021. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let the vote stand unanimously. Okay. Does the board have any other questions before we turn it over to the homeowners? Okay. Okay. We're opening the floor up, and remember, we're going to let each resident speak 3 minutes, no interruptions, and it has to be on a subject that's on the agenda. And everyone gets to speak one time.
Janet Martin, 232 Shell Falls Drive. In regards to the request to change to accrual accounting, just so everybody understands what accrual accounting does allow you to do, I kind of disagree with what was said there.
Can't hear you.
I don't think you're,
Right.
yeah, you're
Just so you
gonna-
understand what accrual accounting does, it's called the matching principle, and it allows you to match your expenses and your revenues. According to Florida Statute 720, financial reporting section states, any association with $150 or more in revenue must prepare financial statements in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles as adopted by the Board of Accountancy. And they call out that the only businesses or associations that cannot accrue, it can go on a cash basis, are those with less than $150,000. According to the GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, only accrual accounting method is allowed. So I respectfully request that you research this before you change from accrual accounting to cash accounting. And as far as Florida statute goes, I did see in our covenants that it says either or, but Florida statute rules over top of our covenants. Am I allowed to talk about financial statements since it was brought up today?
Correct, she's got 3 minutes.
Okay, well, I just want to call
Is
out,
that,
I've already sent this in certified mail. There is one financial statement out there that I found a minimum of 13 different issues on. There was missing data, there were missing totals, there were numbers on there in incorrect sign that did not match the budget. It was the 2022 proposed budget with year-to-date variances. We rely on this information when we go out and look. So I would request that that statement be reviewed and corrected. I also sent another certified letter today. What I found is that the 2021 approved budget and the numbers in the 2021 financial statement do not match, specifically on 5 different lines. Three of them being reserves. And when those lines don't match, that means the money that's being sent over from when it's expensed over to the reserve accounts is not correct. So there's a net difference on the single-family homes of $2,900 versus the budget. So the single-family homes are netting $2,900 more than they're paying. The villas are out of balance by $7,300 in reverse sign. So $7,300 of what they're paying is not being credited to them. And the quads are $1,200. And there's 2 other lines that partially offset this, and there's a $1,200 difference in total between the approved budget and the financial statements. So I would recommend before you post the financial statements out there that you look at this. And it was certified mail, so you should have it probably by Wednesday. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
George Scher, 376 Cedar Falls. On your ballroom leak problem here, 6,000, how long is that guaranteed? Pardon? 1 year. All right, thank you.
I can say we just had our roof repaired. 30 days is all they gave us for a warranty.
30 days.
30 days.
Joe Garrett, 340 Blue Water Falls Court. I'm on the DRC committee, and I have a comment regarding Valerie's comment about Christmas decorations. I do believe our documents say 30 days prior to a holiday and 30 after. Unless there is some other notes further down in it, the original documents do state 30 prior and 30 after. So we need to verify that before everybody's made aware. Okay? It's just a simple, we need to clarify because there's so many changes in paperwork. Somebody might have put November 15th into January 6th someplace.
Can I ask a favor? Will you send me that document that you're speaking of where you found that? The 30 day before and 30 after?
It's in our covenant. I will get you the
Okay,
information.
so,
what
but
section.
there was an ARB guideline also that clarified that. We just pulled that up today, actually, in her office. Hang on one second.
It might be, that's where I'm saying, there might be a conflict, because I know we were doing research on
It's
that.
under,
There is a thing about holiday decorations in the
no, it's
ARB.
specific to the,
There's a specific write-up
Yeah.
on the holiday decorations.
Yeah,
yep.
And they,
It starts November the 15th and ends January the 6th.
okay. But the ARB guidelines, from what I understand, knowing about guidelines versus what's in covenant, your covenant would be a power over it. So because the guidelines are not a registered document. In fact, as far as I understand about guidelines, a board does not even have to approve it. As long as your lawyer has said guidelines are okay, you can use guidelines.
And I believe they have.
So but if the guideline is there and in the document is something different, the document supersedes the guideline. So we should make that a change. We'll have to investigate that in our committee and bring it up.
Yeah,
so
because,
are you going to send Tammy a reference from our covenants that say 30 days?
I'm going to look for that and send her
Yeah,
the
because
page.
I believe I've read that before. I know what he's speaking of, but I also know that in the ARC guidelines.
So that might have been just somebody got,
yeah, we'll look into it.
Yeah,
yep, we'll check it out.
thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Nothing serious, just because I see people already have decorations up.
Mine go up Friday.
Hi,
Hi.
Sandra Palmer. I'm at 5802 Hidden Falls Lane. It's my opinion, and I would like someone to look into it, please.
Can you speak to the mic just a
I
little? Thank you.
apologise. Thank you. I would like someone to look into the landscaping timesheets for the workers, like 12 months ago as to now, because I know Alexander's have put up their rates 3%, and that's fine if we agree to it. But if we're not getting the equivalent of workers, and since the manager at the moment for Alexander's he just doesn't seem to be on top of it. I don't believe that we're getting our money's worth. The second part of the landscaping is I wanted to know when the mulch is going to be put on the gardens. And the other thing, the one other thing was the front desk or resident services. To me, and I sat up here from 5:35 till 8 o'clock one night last week, and there was nothing. 2 women came in and signed up on a sheet that was already there for volunteers. Other than that, they're just sitting there doing nothing. So I think that the hours should run about 9 to 7, and we don't need to, I don't think, we need to be open at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I think 11 or 12 to 5 is sufficient, especially now that it's getting dark at 6 o'clock, and there was just nothing happening, not even the phone rang. So I think we should look at that, reducing that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. With no other, okay, we got a hand coming up.
I live at, my name is Chuck Jankowski. I live at 5469 Sunset Falls. And they were talking about the Brazilian peppers. And I think they go and trim them, keep them off the fences and all that. Well, my neighbor at 5471, behind her house, she complained about them. And they came and trimmed. But all they did was cut the branches off, cut down and let these stumps there. Well, they did that on the last time that they did the Brazilian peppers. And they left the stumps there, oh, then they just grew back up. But they removed the stumps. They wouldn't have to keep trimming them all the time. You know, if they grind them out or something. I mean,
We're actually, we just talked to Dan, I'll talk to him tonight about that, and we may be looking into something, but it is a quarterly expense in our contract for those, because they're invasive, and they say there's really no way to totally get rid of them, but I am going to look into
We
that.
got a stump that's grown there, and all the ones that were growing up over the fence from that stump, if you take that stump away, I think that'll get rid of them. You know?
I have them behind my house also, and they took them out, but they still keep coming back.
Don't they leave a stump there?
I had over 20 feet removed because I'm up against woods. And they still come back, it's just,
Have they taken a whole
they
stump out?
they did come with a special machine and they ground them down and, but they're very intrusive.
Yeah, I know they are.
And they do keep coming back, I just watch them too.
I know that I go over to the neighbors and I get my clippers out and trim them off, but, you know.
Come to my house.
uh,
Come over to my house, please.
I was gone during the summer this year, and while I was gone, I guess they were growing over a lot of stuff. Anyways, I just thought I'd suggest it. I didn't know if they were doing that or what, so.
Thank you.
We have to stress.
Yes, I wrote it down. 5469 Sunset, correct, Chuck? 5469 Sunset?
Yeah, I don't have any in my house.
Okay. If no one else has any other questions, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:55 p.m. Thank you all, and hope you all have a very happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels if you're traveling.